Okay, so I saw Westworld was on. Did you know about DVRs, you guys? Man, Westworld is on. Just record it. Watch it whenever. Rob, I did get your piece, and I listened to it. I got to listen to it again. It was cool. I listened to it this morning actually. Let's see here. Hey Peter, how are you? Andrea, Chops, Paul, Christopher, Jagger, everybody. C3, Matt, Ray, good to see you. What's up? Maurizio, Daniel, what's happening, everybody? Gene, you went with Camilo to Steely Dan. You shot me a video. I don't know if you sent it. I haven't looked. Who's playing guitar with Steely Dan right now? Because my brother-in-law and sister-in-law went to see Steely Dan along with my mother and father-in-law last night. It was Steely Dan with who was opening? Doobie Brothers opening. Harrington. Okay, interesting. Let's see here. I'm gonna look and see if you sent it. I hope you sent me a good shot of a good guitar solo. Anyways, John Harrington. Had to start work, Maurizio, at 6:30. Oh, come on, man. I gotta be up at 5:45 tomorrow. But I'm feeling good. Larry Carlton was playing with Steely Dan a bit recently. So, been busy lately putting out videos. I really, thanks for the David Bowie thing. I really wanted to put that video out yesterday, but Rhett finished the other video, and I couldn't get I didn't have all the shots I wanted for the Bowie video because I wanted to kind of get into those. I wanted to get into some of the voicings that were used in the track. That second voicing that Nile Rodgers uses in the song. I mean, I mentioned the video, but that voicing, as soon as I heard that, I was like, that's total, only jazz guys. And only jazz guys that listen to Wes. I mean, I don't even know. I'm trying to think if that's a voicing Joe Pass would play. Desmond, what's up? Long time. Yeah, the delay guitar is I love the panning on it. That's when people were starting to do multi-tap delay with, I don't know if you guys remember, so you figure it was 83, which is really kind of when the rack units that were out, probably SPX 90, I believe, was out then. The H3000 was out. The Eventide H3000 was out. Bob Clearmountain would have used something like that, though. But I think what's really cool is that none of this stuff was done on grid, and the guitar thing, the delays are so in the pocket, which is amazing because it's not done to a, I don't think it's done to a click. I don't know if maybe they did it to a click. No, they probably did it to a click, but the da, 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 and it's going back and forth between the speakers. It's so in the pocket. It's great. And the other thing too is that the keyboard bass is really in the pocket. The keyboard bass is really good on that. But it's, of course, you got a lot of pros. You got, has chic DNA, exactly. You got pros, all pros playing on this. Come on, you got Omar Hakim on it. There's some great videos with Omar Hakim talking about playing those kind of things. Oh, Mr. Hard Rocker, you saw my shred F sharp 7. That's my new thing. I got to put out one Instagram video a day. Who's not subscribed to my Instagram, my Rick Beato 1 Instagram channel? And I don't want to have the excuse that, oh, I can't do Instagram. It's an app. It takes you about 2 minutes to sign up to it. They don't take any of your info or anything. Go sign up to my Rick Beato 1. I'm putting up new stuff every day there now. That's my other new thing. Paul, you're not, and you don't have an excuse. Well, get on there. You don't even need to get on it. You can just look it up. You can go on, use a browser. Chops, get Instagram, man. Come on, it takes about 20 seconds. What do I put on there? I put on there extra bits from these videos. I put on there I pretty much put all Instagram video. It's all videos. I put pieces like I'm doing a Alanis Morissette video, what makes a song great, and I put up a little piece of that. I put up the Peter Gabriel one. I put up a little ad for that before it came out. So that's it. What's up, Dangerous as Milk? Do I want a piece of you? Are you joking or what? Is that a joke? Yeah, I do. I want a piece of you, Dangerous as Milk. I want to take a piece of you, of your electrons as they went into the ether. There we go. I kept a couple bits there. Oy vey. So I'm trying to do that was a total laid back band hammer, right? Do I know there's another YouTube band? So Guy was one of my students, and it's not really my channel, but I saw that. That was the Chill Band Hammer, Gene. I don't even do Boom, You're Out of Here. I wasn't even going to get with his You Want a Piece of Me. We're out of here. I don't even do Boom, You're Out of Here. I wasn't even going to get with his You Want a Piece of Me. We're out of here. 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 We're out Yeah, the new eating plan's going very well. The chill hammer, I like that. Mashugapeth. Eat his liver with some fava beans. Exactly. Uh, so yeah, so the Instagram is my new thing here, along with my diet, and I'm down about 6 or 7 pounds right now. Can you guys tell? Can you see? I think you can see. I can definitely see it. Um, so I'm practicing guitar 10 minutes a day. That's my new thing. You can't tell. So my that's my New Year's resolution here is that, and I'm doing a little guitar video or some type of video every single day on on YouTube. My face is way thinner than it was last week. I mean, I'm down 7 pounds now, and I definitely have more energy. I got past the keto flu or whatever it's called. Um, Camera adds 15. My face is not well lit. I know it's not well lit. Well, I've had the bright computer screen on me, so there's nothing I can do. Um, so I'm gonna try and go. I'm trying to lose 30 pounds. I'm doing no carbs, pretty much. I mean a few carbs. Um, I have to run a mile a day now, Daniel. Or get on my elliptical. I tell you, when I'm carrying a lot of weight, my knees. I can feel it in my knees, no question about it. Definitely. So Tom, yes. So the Instagram, um, my Instagram thing every day, um, and it's just making me stay disciplined there, and I want to try and boost. I want to have 100,000 subscribers or followers over there too. Staying under 20 carbs, induction phase. That's right. Swimming is your friend, Drive By Troll. Well, I have a pool, and we opened it today. I didn't go swimming, but my kids went swimming today, and they were psyched. It was cold, but they just all dove right in. It was fun. So I was sitting out at the pool, drinking my coffee while they were swimming. Peter, you like my B flat minor 11 jam? Um, I did Rhett power wash the deck when uh, when um, when anybody started here as an intern, I made them power wash the deck, and it took. That's the only thing I made them do, and it took. Um, oh God, probably about 4 or 5 hours it took him to do it. He was he was worn out. His dad was laughing about it though. His dad likes it that oh no, I wouldn't make Carol do it. Come on, Jack. No. Um, Carol's kind of spoiled. Uh, Gene, you had to clean the toilet in the first day of studio internship. Yeah. Um, Rob asked a question. Rob, I don't know you. Rob Gorley. Okay. Do I prefer recording distorted bass straight to track or by reamping? Um, well, um, that's sexist not letting Carol do it. No, I just don't want Carol. I don't want her screwing up my power washer. um, Power washing is fun. I love power washing. That's one of my favorite things. So I record my distorted bass usually at the same. I use the DI and record the distortion bass always. Um, and and then and sometimes I'll use the DI. Hold on. Hold on. Whoops. Hold on. Where is that thing? So I have a couple, so I can't find it now. Yeah, I was going to bring out the dark glass thing. So sometimes I'll record the DI. So you see right where my thumb is? That's my friend Dan's DI. So sometimes I'll do 3 or 4 tracks, but typically I will do a DI in through my Neve, one of my Neves, 1073 specifically. I'll use my Zod DI for a tube DI, and then I will use an amp, a real amp, or I'll use something like that dark glass DI box, distortion box. Why is bass recorded DI instead of a mic and an amp? No, so it's recorded both, Shane. I record it with both. Anyways, so that's DI is split. That's right. Do I lose any bottom end on the dark glass DI? Honestly, I've only used it one time. And when I used it, my assistant GL or Ken was using it. But I was thinking to myself, I kept saying to him, "Man, the bass sounds great." And he had the DI and the dark glass playing at the same time. And the distortion on it gave enough information to it to cut through the guitars. It was one of the tracks that the track we did last week with my friend Mike's band. So I'm going to mix that track probably tomorrow. I'm going to mix it. So I will let you know what I think of it. And I might need to reamp through the dark glass if I'm going to to check it out and see how it sounds, if I need to change anything. Have I dealt with upright bass? And if so, where do I mic it? Typically, I've recorded upright bass a lot. I will typically use a mic. I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to describe where I put it. You have to see. But I will always record a DI with it also, because everybody that I've recorded has a pickup on their bass. Subi asked a question: how do you mult? Well, you can mult through the patch bay. That's one way of multing that we do. But I think you're saying how do we split the signal to go to different things? I've got a box. Well, I have DI boxes that'll split the signal. And I also have a distribution box made by Little Labs that Subi, you saw 30-something Rick running Pro Tools for Vince Neil. I wasn't 30-something. I was 43. You saw a 43-year-old Rick there, Subi. Rob asked, do I think I'll ever do any more sounding offs with film composers? I absolutely will. I just have to get them booked on here. That's the thing. So What's the difference between being a producer and arranger? An arranger is basically like an orchestrator. Typically, you talk about arrangers. People speak of when you're arranging things for big band, for example. Um, and then an orchestrator is somebody that would arrange for orchestra, or when you're doing orchestration, you call them orchestrators. So a producer in music is, there can be a lot of things. A producer nowadays is not necessarily what a producer would have been, when George Martin was producing the Beatles. I mean, then typically producers back in the day were accomplished musicians that went into producing. They'd be people that could write arrangements, like George Martin could write orchestral arrangements, string quartet arrangements, things like that. And that's pretty much the difference. But a producer nowadays can be people like Max Martin that write and they play everything. And I mean, producers can be so many things. I mean, they can be arranged. Is rock dead? BDS. Well, go watch my video on it. Jeff, any thoughts on more story videos? I'm not sure what that means. What kind of story videos? Back in the day, it was called composition. Oh, how many of you saw the video that Rhett did for me? Anybody? Oh, it was a story video, Rediscovering Rock. Yes. It wasn't the 2-year anniversary. That was the 2-year anniversary is in a couple weeks. It's June 2nd. Is the 2-year anniversary. Now, Rhett made the video. I didn't do any I didn't do any editing on it or anything. It's interesting because I think that some of the storyline on it is not quite right, because it made it seem like the Apple video was the thing that really got my channel going when I had 150,000 subscribers when I had the Apple video. And an interesting thing is that I've had almost no viral videos. The Dylan viral video that I have on there has 1 million views on my channel. It had 500,000 before I started making any videos, 6 months before. So that doesn't count. The Apple video, and then the next biggest video is almost 500,000, is my weird darkest scale ever video. So I like that, Rob. Zappa comment. That should be read by everyone. That's great. Jeff, you like industries of videos on music industry and life stories? I have not done a life story lately. I just, yeah. Jason, you found me while looking for drum tuning info. There you go. Yeah, but I mean, 125,000 subscribers. But it's really interesting. I was talking with Rat and Aaron about this. That I've had almost no viral video. I mean, I've basically had no viral videos on my channel. And some of the people that I've interviewed for my channel that are YouTubers have had tons of viral videos. I don't even know how to have a viral video. Rick reminds you of Zappa, except nicer and not cynical. Um, well, I don't know. I didn't know Frank, so I know that Dweezil's sure a nice guy. Um, Clickbait, outrageous, not music instruction. I need a clickbait title. Ear training for cats. Um, Time for a relevant rant. Thank you, Tom. Um, I think that I think honesty is the. I think that's the main. Um, I think that's really the most important thing. If I were to say, um, if I were to say the most important thing, if somebody were to ask me to actually have a successful channel, um, is to be really honest and um, I think that's I think honesty about things. I mean, I talk, a lot of my videos, my personal videos, are stories of failure. Me not getting into college for music, my first try. My rediscovering rock, my no regrets video. That was one of my favorite ones. I think. How many of you have seen my no regrets video? I think that's actually the one of the ones that I did where I actually put a little bit of music in the background. Um, um, Better be in a small club than a huge arena. Um, yeah, that video. It's interesting is I think that if you haven't seen that video, that's one of my. I think that's one of the best ones that I've done. Andrea, the whiteboard board is fine too. There you go. I mean, honestly, my biggest video, my darkest scale ever, it's got whiteboard on it. It's got overlays where I'm playing the piano. Um, hey, Brett, good to see you. Um, Keep in mind you play to actual musicians more than um, my look my people that are you guys are all it's real professional musicians because um, Tom, you're starting to check out my older 42,000 videos. I looked on something today and it said 612 videos on my main channel. Um, if your channel gets 1 million subs, we'd be able to read the comments. Of course, Lonnie. Just takes a little longer. Ron, you're at the guitar shop. Pelham Blue, there you go, man. You know that. I'm waiting for it, Ron. Thoughts on a Trey video, Funky Dead Fish. I wish I could play some Trey without getting in trouble. Those people are. I have about. I have probably 100 Trey demos. Trey from Fish. I have probably 100 Trey demos right now that I could play. 100. I can't do it though. Those people are really uptight. Um, Fish is your favorite. I spent four and a half months with Trey calling me every morning at 8 o'clock, and I ignored it. 801, nothing. 802, nothing. 803. By the fourth time, he just kept calling me one time after another. And I'd be like, yo, what's up, man? He's like, hey, man, what's happening? I was like, I don't know, just trying to get going for the day. What's up? And then he'd tell me he'd have a million ideas right then. So that was what it was like working with Trey. But I on the first part of that project, the first week of the project, Tony Levin and exactly, musicians are not up that early, Tom. Tony Levin and Jerry Murata were there for the first week of tracking. And those of you that have been to Tony Levin's website and you see pictures from Trey's studio from 2005 from the barn, I'm in the pictures there with them. And it was interesting talking to them. I mentioned it, I think, that I talked to them. I talked to Tony and Jerry because I would drive them to the studio every day. That about the Peter Gabriel, about the So record, about all the records they played on. And it was really fascinating. I mean, they played on, I want to say that they both played on Double Fantasy with John Lennon. I think Jerry Murata played on Double Fantasy. But Tony, you're right, Brett. Tony is such a great guy. I mean, he's won. Levin is on Double Fantasy. Okay, I thought that, and Jerry Murata too, Gene. Tony played with Lennon. I mean, come on, give me a break. I mean, I worked with someone. That's as close as I got to John Lennon. I worked with someone that worked with John Lennon. Well, I met Elton John and got to talk to him for an hour. And he was good friends with John Lennon, so I knew somebody that knew John Lennon, that was friends with John Lennon. I think Murata played on that record. He might have played on some of it. Amadeo, what's up? 6 Degrees of Separation. Never met David Peel. He went and jammed with Trey and Fish at the farmhouse. I did do that. Does he play the stick? He does. How did I meet Elton John? So Elton John, I've told this story, but I'll tell it again. Elton John was a really big fan of a band that I was producing. And we were in the same studio at the same time in 2003, I believe it was. Yeah. It was the end of 2003. The first day, it was a band called Jump Little Children. The first day, we were setting up, getting sounds, and and I was talking through the mic, and nobody was answering me. And you couldn't see the live room because it was in another part of the building. So you had to walk about a minute to get to it. I'm like, yo, guys, come on, let's track these drums. What's up? Where is everyone? And then the band comes walking in. They said, Elton John just walked in. I said, what? And I knew he was in the A studio, and we were in the B studio. He said, walked in. He said one of his assistants came in first and said, are you guys Jump Little Children? And they said, yeah. And then Elton John walks in and introduces himself. Elton was living in Atlanta. I don't know if he's still living here now, but he lived here for years. And he came in and talked to them. Now, I didn't see him then. He was talking for them for 10 minutes, and I'm just pressing the talk back, and nobody's answering me. And they came back in, they were stunned, Elton John. So Elton said, come on in when your session's over at night. Come over and hang out in Studio A. So we called over there, and he said, yeah, come on over. And we went over, I walked in first and I introduced myself and he introduced me to he had his entire band from the 70s there and all the guys, Nigel, the drummer, all of them, and Bernie Taupin was there because Bernie Taupin was working on lyrics on the record. And so he introduced me to Bernie, and we talked for probably an hour, and then Elton said, "You guys want to hear a song? We just tracked a song." I said, "Sure." And I sat down at the console, the SSL, with Elton John sitting right next to me, and listened to one of the tracks they just wrote that day. And he was so cool. What a nice guy. I kept thinking, I kept looking over at him. I was like, Rocket Man? I mean, all this Saturday Night's All Right for Fight. I mean, it's like I'm like sitting next to Elton John in a studio and he's playing one of his new songs. And Bernie Taupin's right there. That was amazing. I mean, I'm not usually the track. If I saw the name, I would remember it. I'm not starstruck by anybody, really, but people like that, Elton John, that's pretty amazing. He's a legend. Have I ever met Bob Dylan? I've never met Bob Dylan. But Elton was unbelievably nice. I'll tell you, he won an award for something during that time. He was there. He won a big award. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the Oscars or something like that. The next day, he was at the studio. He was in LA. He took his private jet back or whatever. He was in the studio. He had a session. He took off the day, and then he was back at 10 a.m. And I saw him on TV in LA. And he was back at 10 a.m. in for the session. And he was producing it himself. Ron, you have a Stevie Ray story? I heard that Stevie Ray did not know David Bowie, didn't know anything about him. Which is great. I love that. Tumbleweed Connection is an incredibly great record. I don't know why I haven't done an Elton John song, but I will do an Elton John song. Somebody made a suggestion in the comments today. A round 2 with all the people that I've done videos on. I don't know if I would do all of them, but I think that, doing a second track on everyone. And I said, I will definitely do that once I get through some of the more classic bands. And Bowie's one of the classics. I've got, what's up, SB? I've got the Stones to do. I got to figure out how to do the Beatles and Dylan and there's a lot of people left to do. Elton, Badfinger. Man, I would love to do the Badfinger song from that they had in Breaking Bad. Baby Blue. Temple of the Dog, Subi, of course. Shinedown. What makes a song great in Shinedown? What's funny about Shinedown is that I always forget that I produced Shinedown. I never mentioned Shinedown. Have I mentioned Shinedown really very much on here? Any of you guys know who Shinedown is? They're a rock band. I produced. You can see the thing. Rhett put it in the video, the platinum record on there. He put the platinum record in there. I didn't want him to put that in there. Yeah, so um, the singer for China is an amazing singer. What's up, Elliot? Yeah, going to Italy tomorrow. Excellent, man. Yeah, next year. Next year, gonna be there. Can't wait. Um, Metal's answer to Skinnerd. So yeah, I worked with them on their first record, and I wrote some songs with Brent on the first record. Have I ever met Eddie Kramer? Yes, I met Eddie Kramer. He would not know me, but I've met him a couple times. I met him in '92 in New York at Sears Sound when he was transferring Hendrix tunes to would it be digital? What would he be doing? What would he transfer them to? In '92, he was playing multi tracks and he was soloing tracks. And I was standing outside the door and I said, "Man, that sounds a lot like Hendrix." But I thought, and I wasn't, couldn't, I don't think it could be Pro Tools. Pro Tools maybe '91, I think it started. He said, or I thought that sounds just like Jimi Hendrix, but but I don't know about that. And and when he came walking out of the room, I thought, oh, that's Eddie Kramer. He produced all these Hendrix stuff. And I said, "Are those Jimi Hendrix tracks you're playing?" He said, "Yeah." And not Gary Kramer, Eddie Kramer. Um, let's see here. So, anyways, that was fascinating. Not Jim Kramer, Jim Kramer. Jeff Buckley someday. Anything on Grace? Man, I got a lot of Jeff Buckley requests. Um, let's see. My buddy Al got his studio. Some Queen tracks. I got plenty of Queen tracks. Andre, what's up? Uh, who built the Seattle Hendrix Museum? I think that Paul Allen did. I thought he did. Helium, you were overseas when SRV was killed. Um, I've not seen the Queen movie trailer. Paul Allen did. Okay. Um, I've not seen the Freddie Mercury movie. Paul Allen does have a few bucks. Um, what else here? What's the most efficient band I've ever worked in the studio? Oh man, hard to say. When I heard about when I heard about Stevie Ray Vaughan, I was living in um, I was in Ithaca teaching, and I'm trying to remember where I was when I heard. I can't remember now. I remember hearing it right after it happened, though. You don't hear things like you do nowadays with Twitter and and 24/7. Um, Ron, you own Stevie Ray's 412 cabinet. There you go. It's awesome. Um, have I done or am I going to do any Miles flamenco or sketches of Spain or anything like that? Yes. Have I ever worked on any projects with Alter Bridge or Mark Tremonti? I only recorded Mark Tremonti. I've recorded some solos with him, and on a record that I did, he played on, and Miles Kennedy sang on one track. That was the only time. Miles, a killer singer. But the other guys, Brian and Scott, the drummer and bass player of Alter Bridge, I've met those guys. Got to do my Freddie Hubbard videos. Elliot, I've been listening to Freddie a lot, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I've never worked with Robert Cray. Drive by Troll. Any chance I could do some big band stuff? I was just talking about that with my friend Charles just before I came on here. About talking about some big band arranging. And I thought either write a melody and then do harmonize sax section, or take something from Duke Ellington or some a great big band arrangement and take a section and do an analysis of it. I thought that might be really cool. So that's one of the ideas with that I thought about with as far as big band arranging. I mean, honestly, I have as much experience in big band arranging as I do in anything. And it would get at least one view. I know. It's probably all it would get. Count Basie, something like that. I'm not driven by how many subscribers or views I get, but I don't like to do videos I don't like to do videos that that people don't watch, obviously, because it actually I don't know. I'm trying to think though if I did a Count Basie, if I did an Ellington, did an analysis of I would have to take a section of a chart. Elliot, you'd watch those at least 5 times. And one of the ideas I had was actually bringing in a horn section in here and having them play it live. That was the idea. To do that and then talk about it. So one of the things that I think that I want to do is start bringing in more live musicians. There's a what do you call it? It's there's a recital hall. It's a little ways. It's a little ways away, but they have a really nice tracking room and a nice, probably 400 seat recital hall. A place that doesn't get used ever. That I could put together some that I could bring in some ensembles to play. And that's something I'd like to do. I just have to figure it out. We I did that live stream the other day. That was a kind of a disaster with Aaron, where he was using multiple cameras. But the idea is great. We just didn't execute it very well. And what we need to do is videos like this. We need to shoot with multiple cameras, especially when you have a lot of people like that, because if you're trying to record an ensemble, you can't. I can't be there. Hey, let me shoot this here. Okay, hang on. Let me set my camera up over here. I mean, obviously, we have to have multiple cameras doing things. It'd be easier if it was done with OBS or something like that, where you could switch between different cameras and try it that way. Rob, who's the oldest musician in the world still making music? You know, there's a guy that was at the Fernbank Museum here. It's like Museum of Natural History. And he was a 94-year-old piano player, jazz piano player. He was great. And he was playing in the cafeteria at this place here in town. I haven't been there in a long time with my kids, but last time that we went, he was there playing. And I love seeing people like that, especially people that are improvising play that are in their 90s. It's amazing. So cool. Yes, OBS has a multi-view. That's you start getting into these. It's very similar to recording drums on video. It's really difficult to do because they're super loud in the room, and you got to wear headphones or you got to wear ear protection when you have people bashing. So anyways, and that's hard to shoot. And I don't have, look, you guys know that I'm not an expert in photography, right? You can tell from my videos. So I need help in these things, which is why I need Aaron and Rhett, Carol. Anyway, so that's, was that my wife in the background? No, that was Jam. That was our, Jam is our, Jam watches our kids. She was, picks up our kids from school, picks up my kids from school. And she was there. She was listening. So no, that was not my wife. My wife will not be in a video ever. She refuses. Brett, you study big band arranging with Phil Wilson. Ton of future jazz stars in the class. I'm sure you were. Let's see here. Oh, I see a band hammer here. Jesus. Boom! Who's this idiot? Man. Use a drone. I'll use a drone on that guy. Okay, so that's poofed. There we go. I did some stuff with Need to Breathe. I need to have my own explosion sounds, for sure. First thing I hear when I enter the video, what an idiot. Who is this idiot? There you go. Luciano, that wasn't you. I need a band stab for banding. That's right, John. That is right. Steely band, Ray. Oh, and I'll get the phone thing hooked up again for this week. I got to get Aaron to hook it up so I can hear it through the OBS here. Anyways, all right, listen. Sign up to my Instagram, Rick Beato 1. I got to go right now because I still got some stuff to do for tomorrow. The band sampler. And Subi, You're gonna be getting it. I'm telling. I've got it. I gotta send it out. Elliot, good night, everybody. You're the best. Thank you.